to a cliched, let's be honest, boring snooze fest that is in dire need of a knight in shining armor. Television ratings, downward spiral. Pay-per-view buy rates, plummeting. Mainstream acceptance, non-existent. And reactions of the live crowds, complete and utter silence. You're silent because you're embarrassed to be here. Honestly, I'm embarrassed for you. And the reason why you're embarrassed is because of the steady stream of uninteresting, untalented, mediocre sports entertainers who you're forced to cheer for and care for. No wonder you're not cheering. You can care less about every single idiot in that dressing room.
Now, here's Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin.
What an episode of AEW tonight. Not bad, man, after some of the stuff we saw in Raw, and after even last week's episode of AEW, I'm feeling a lot better right now than I was a few days ago, because the WWE Royal Rumble murdered my soul, or the build-up to the Royal Rumble on Raw murdered my soul, bored me to death almost, and last week's AEW was kind of a mess, I guess. And so tonight's show, man, it was so much better. And we didn't even get to see the first 18 minutes of it. At least a lot of people didn't. I went to the poll earlier to look. And, man, I'll tell you, you guys, I asked, hey, guys, is it down for you? 78% of you said it's down. 20% of you said mine's good. And basically nobody said it's back, because when it came back for everybody anyway, so it didn't matter. But at the time, I didn't know what the hell was going on. So, yeah, it looks like 70 to 60% of you missed the first 18 minutes, including me. I missed the first 18 minutes. Hulu, YouTube, other places. I'm assuming that the TV broadcast was the only one that people saw.
I watched it because I was watching cable. And usually I have to always tune in to the app. Tonight was the rare instance that I was watching on the TV itself. So I guess for our sakes, I'm glad that worked out that way, because I got to see the introduction at least, so one of us did. It started off with Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. They had a pretty decent match. As soon as it starts off, Jake Roberts comes out with Lance Archer, and Lance sends him to the back saying, I don't want you here. You're going to be a distraction. And right away, we get a huge choke slam onto Kingston from Archer right over the ropes, and they just, start beating the living hell out of each other.
Dude, I saw the intro, by the way, Jake. I saw the intro of Kingston, got fired up, and then it went down. That's when it went down.
So they started, throwing hard chops against each other. Lance Archer no-sold for a while, and then, they kind of battled to the outside of the ring, and from there, we saw Archer perform an awesome full Nelson bomb, and that was great. And then Eddie got a really big drop kick, and he kept attacking the leg and especially the knee he was targeting of Archer's, trying to go ahead and take the big man down. If he can take him down a size. So they had a good complexity to the match, nothing too advanced, but enough that they told a decent story. And Archer keeps trying to set up for his finisher. Kingston keeps kind of just slipping out and getting away from it time and time again. He choke slams Eddie once more, and then he does that babyface smile into the camera, kind of like what Jake used to do. So it was a really cool moment. I appreciated that bit of character, levity. And then he hit him with the claw and slammed Kingston's head right under the mat. And it was a hell of a slam, too. It looked like it hurt. Not in a bad way, but, they sold it well. And then, of course, the Butcher and the Blade come out, and they drag Jake Roberts onto the stage. And Archer, of course, is distracted. And the Buddy comes at ringside, and she gives Eddie brass
wait
knuckles.
A minute. Wait, what happened to her at ringside?
She came at ringside.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, multiple times. It's because Eddie was there. And she passes him the brass knuckles. He hits, Lance, and that's it. Gets the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Eddie is victorious, so this story keeps going. And it has a pretty good set of momentum behind it at this point in time. I liked the after attack as well. They had, the Butcher and the Blade just completely annihilate Lance Archer. They did this like power bomb neck breaker type combo on the stage, and then you saw Eddie lay him out as well with a big spinning punch. So it looked good.
Did Lance look good?
He looked really pretty dominant early on, and then Eddie started to target his legs. So once the limb came into call, it was a bit harder for him to get some of the offense in, but he was still pretty dominant. And then Eddie had to resort to the heel tactics of getting help. So Lance looked good for the most part.
And who won
the match? It was just a numbers
again?
game. Eddie won because he cheated using the brass knuckles.
I'm happy though. I like that. I like that he cheated. He used the brass knuckles. By the way, the Fiend Bray Wyatt. My God, the Fiend is here, and he became a member of the Joe Cronin Show. Fiend, thank you, brother, for going down below and becoming a member. We've had a lot of other people become members this week. We're looking to break the record, man. We got to try to break the record of over 100 members. Never had over 100 members on the show before, so tonight could be the night. So yeah, that's when I came back. Actually, what happened after that? I'm going to see if that's where I came back. I don't remember exactly.
Right after that, we had John Moxley promo.
Okay, so it was the end of his promo. He said like a couple things, and then it was over, and it wasn't enough for me to say, what a promo. It was literally enough for me to say, okay, John Moxley was cutting a promo. I just saw the end of it, and that's it. So that's all I got out of it.
It was good. It was just more John Moxley.
Bomb. Whoa.
Oh.
You become
shit bomb.
I didn't realize I had him on yet.
Dynamite. Cheers, Joe Jake. Wine glass.
What's up, man? JCS Foot Rub, thank you very much for the
bud?
$2, brother. If you want to donate tonight, you can do like JCS Foot Rub, and you can leave it. Let me see if I got the thing up.
I'm laughing at the chat with everybody, investing in GameStop. That's right, Justin and Nawandi. Getting rich, bitches.
Dude.
It's funny when, everyone at CD Projekt Red, they basically had funds set up that if the game tanked, they made millions of dollars, which they did. But yet they're upset that, people are able to manipulate the market and treat it like a casino to make GameStop their, winning horse.
Yeah, well, I got news for you. That's what Wall Street's been doing for like forever. So
exactly, that is Wall Street. It's just a legal casino that they gamble at in the morning instead of at night.
Every person that gets angry about what's going on right now, those people should be investigated and probably tortured, like with dildos, because they're probably the most evil people ever. Welcome to what you guys have been doing forever, guys. I can't believe GameStop, dude. $350 a share. If you started the night with, like, what was the shares at? $20 or $40, something like that?
I thought they were 18 to start. I could be off. I've heard so many numbers. So,
dude, you're rich today. If you just if you're just some shithead who's like years ago, right? Or even if you worked at the company, did they give shares out to their employees?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Do you know who's happy is their employees?
At one point in time, for managers, they had an option where you can get stock options because managers were complaining that they weren't getting enough reimbursement. So they were doing but I don't know how long that lasted.
Dude, I have a friend who was a manager at GameStop for 18 years.
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
So if they got any type of reimbursement that way through stock market gains, holy crap, that would be great. They would be rich beyond rich at this point.
I just texted him, actually. You made me think about it, to text him. Thanks for becoming a member, Fiend. But no, dude, like this guy, I knew one other guy, and I haven't talked to him yet. I texted him earlier today. I know another guy worked at GameStop for 10 years. That guy has legit 700 shares in GameStop, and he told me, this was like 5 years ago, he told me that it only cost him $300, and he's got like 500 or 700 shares, something like that. So if he has 700 shares, and it cost him like $300 to $500, I mean, dude, right now, if that guy just wants to bail out, like get rid of his shares, that guy is $200,000 something dollars.
Everyone's saying hold fast, but I don't know. I think it's going to explode eventually. They went ahead and they banned the subreddits and the discords for all the people that were working together and talking.
That tells you
Wall Street's afraid.
Yeah, Wall Street's scumbags because they all do insider trading and they all play the game against all of you guys. They play the game against us, but when you play the game against them, they're coming for you. So get your weapons ready, everybody, because it's going down in the year 2021 and 2022 because they're allowed to get your kids killed and your family lives ruined, but you can't go on Reddit and talk about it. Let me tell you something, brother. War is coming to America, and it's happening soon. Anyway, back to the AEW review, and okay, Jon Moxley promo. How would you rate the promo, Jake?
About a 7, pretty typical. You know, he goes in talking about the Good Brothers, Kenny Omega, how they're all one big happy family, and there's drama within the Elite, and he basically said it's just another soap opera. The Death Triangle doesn't like any of them, and he doesn't think, they like him either. And John said, I'm a simple guy. He likes sex in the morning. He told Pac and Ray to saddle up and get ready for gang warfare. He doesn't know what's going to happen next week, but it's going to be wild. So more of that. Moxley, he's always good at selling the next fight, building up the next match. It wasn't anything mind-blowing, but it was good. It was entertaining. So,
all right, so that's good. Pretty good promo. Nice start. What would you say, like a 7 out of 10 start for the whole
7's
thing?
good, and that it makes sense. It fits.
Okay.
Then we had Sting and Darby Allin. Did you see this?
I saw that promo. I could not tell you, and I'll just say my quick overview, not even overview. I'm just going to quickly say, before you talk about it, I don't know if I think it was a thumbs up, but there was part of me that was like, this is pretty cool, but then there was a part of me that went, this is cringy. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, I was kind of split because I liked Darby throwing his skateboard through the window. But then with Sting bashing the windows with the bat, he kind of seemed almost out of breath just doing that. He looked a little winded just slamming the windows behind him. And the way he was slamming them and missing at one of the shots. And
it was just weird because Darby was trying to throw a skateboard through a window and he wasn't sure if he was going to make it. So he had to adjust in the middle of doing it. And then he was like, I got it to go through. Okay, yeah, I got it to go through. And then Sting is like, you're coming for you. It was just it was so weird, but it worked because those two guys, the two guys are so believable in a way to me.
They're so charismatic. They fit together.
But it was weird.
In that, especially in that setting, the abandoned warehouse, that crow aesthetic, it works. It's fitting. The thing is that I wouldn't have had Sting be like, oh, I'm a hoodlum too, because that doesn't fit. It fits everything with Darby Allin's character, but that doesn't fit Sting at all. So I get what they're going for, but it's like, oh, I'm no different than you. He could have gone about it a bit of a different way, but him beating the windows looked a little silly with the baseball bat. I get what they're trying to put over, but at least we know now it's definitely going to be a cinematic match. This is what we're going to see. It's going to be in some type of warehouse setting, outside, total street fight. And I mean, we knew that's what they were going to have to do, but lo and behold, it seems like this is what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
After that, we had Jericho and MJF from the Inner Circle with the entire Inner Circle out behind them versus the Varsity Blondes, Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. These are the kind of things that you forget that it's a good story and it's good to tell going into the match. I forgot all about MJF trying to make Griff Garrison say that he was undefeated. And Griff wouldn't say it. Griff wouldn't say it because it wasn't true. And Griff wouldn't tell a lie. And then he got his ass beat. He got destroyed by MJF and Wardlow. So I like that they touched on that because I forgot all about it. And it's good when you have that type of rivalry or backstory because it gives you more of an investment into the match. So I instantly started off with this match being like, oh, I don't really give a shit about this. Then once MJF reminded me, being like, oh yeah, they do have history against each other. Well, now there's kind of a story here. Let's see what they tell. It changed. It made it intriguing in a second just because they added a little bit of an element to it.
Right.
So I appreciate that they did that. It was a good match. Another 8-minute tag match. A lot of tag heavy stuff tonight, as always, but I'm a bit tired of some of the tag team stuff. I mean, they got 6-man tags, 8-man tags, typical tag team matches. It's just a lot at this point. It worked. It was a good match. It elevates Chris and MJF, obviously. Mm-hmm. The Varsity Blondes look good out of it, and Jericho did the lion salt as a fuck you to Twitter and the internet for basically people were saying you can't even do the lion salt anymore. I heard someone mention that
because he messed up once. Wait a minute. Listen, whoever said, if anybody out there who says that, listen, he when he messed up the lion salt the other week, I get it because he looked slower in the match. Maybe he wasn't feeling good, maybe whatever, but the guy doesn't just disintegrate in 2 weeks. The guy was doing the lion salt 3 weeks ago, doing the lion salt 5 weeks ago, doing the lion salt 2 months ago. The guy's been doing the lion salt all year long, and he's looked like a guy
for
who's
30 years.
Yeah, for 30 years, and he's a guy who looks like he's in shape, but out of shape a little bit because how much he drinks. So even in shape, rough-looking Jericho has been doing the lion salt for forever, and almost every week on TV. Suddenly he messes up one of them a little bit. Like, he had bigger screw-ups in his day when he used to fly off the ropes. So it's like, dude, like, anybody thinks, like, oh, well, there it is. Like, it's like, this is like what people did to Tom Brady, dude. They were like, oh, he's done. Oh, he's done again. Oh. It's like, no, he just doesn't have a fucking offensive line. And it's like, no, just Jericho looked like he wasn't in the best condition last week, whether that's because he was beat up, sore, tired, whatever it was. It happened, and you could see it in the match, and then he missed the lion salt. So it's like, oh, yeah, he looks rough tonight. And then
the match ended like last second. Everything was messed up.
Yeah, they were rushing stuff. They
were botching.
Exactly. It was really a time crunch issue, and he's rushing a move that's dangerous. He would probably
tell you that. But I had to make note of the fact that was the point tonight. You even saw him smirk into the camera when he landed it perfect for the pinfall.
Yeah.
That's why they had that be the finish to the match, not the Judas effect, not the code breaker, because usually the Judas is the pinfall, you know?
Yes.
He went to go and give a fuck you, and I like that. I thought that was poignant. Rather than him say something on the mic before the match, being like, oh, I'm the demo god, and everybody on Twitter giving me hate. No. Shut him up by showing him you still got it. Perfect.
Yeah, these people are crybaby. Dude, like, oh my God, he's good. Yeah, listen, if he messes up the lion salt for 4 weeks in a row, and then he like does a bunch of other bad stuff in a match and falls over and stuff like that, then we can start talking about, damn, something's wrong with him. But like once in a while, I mean, dude, these other these other retards, these other young guys,
he's great. Matt never botches. In his first introduction in AEW, he botched big.
Yeah, he fell off the top. Well, that's my point is look at how many people botch every week. Like, and nobody ever says, oh, no. Like, the women, like, alone, like, botch every 2 seconds. These people botch like crazy. Yeah. Jericho botches
there's a huge
1 in a million lion salt.
That they use, so.
Dude, this guy has hit the lion salt like 99.79 or something, 99.99%. He hits the lion salt. You know what I mean? Seriously. It's super rare. Like, he fucks up 3 weeks in a row, or like, if he starts regularly messing it up, you're like, okay, this guy might want to put that move away. And honestly, it is a move that eventually that is a move he's going to have to put away. Obviously, because he's going to get older. He's,
it's not going to be something that he's going to be able to regularly hit. But like you said, too, the difference between ropes and cables, I mean, that's why AJ was so used to the TNA ropes, basically, at that point in time with the cables, that when he went to the WWE, he was worried he wasn't going to be able to springboard off the ropes. Right. Because you get used to the difference. In AEW, they have those cables. It's different. So those are a little bit harder to springboard off of, it seems like.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like, because they always seem very loose. I don't know if you noticed that too, but the ropes always look...
AEW?
Yeah.
I think they're looser. Okay, so to me, right? To me, I've been in a lot of rings, like a lot of rings. Probably been in 60 different rings in my life, which is not a lot compared to professional wrestlers, real, but you know what I mean. The bottom line is the ropes, it does look like they've decided to go with a little bit of give in the ropes. They're not WWE loose. WWE is much looser in a way because they don't look it, but because ropes bend more, like these are wire, obviously, so... But they've definitely, like, and I said this from the beginning, and I think they actually tightened them a little bit, but they're definitely looser than, like, WCW. WCW's ropes were so tight. Like, they were so tight. Yeah, those things were,
like, dangerously tight, like, rip your ear, face, and limb off tight.
Yeah, they were super dangerous. These appear to have more of a give, and I would say any more loose, and I'd almost be tweeting at the company like, what are you doing? Are you guys okay? Are you guys feeling all right? So it's right at the point where any looser and that's too loose, but it's fine where it is. I think the wrestlers all like it where it is apparently, so they're fine with it. But it looks a little bit like that, but I don't think that it's not too loose yet. But are you saying you saw somebody move or slip because of it, or?
No, not tonight. I just noticed in general it always looks like those ropes or cables, I should say, are just so much looser. So the way they look, it just tonight I noticed Jungle Boy when he made one of his aerial maneuvers, the rope was just like shaking, it was vibrating after the fact, and I was like, wow, that looks really loose. So I don't know, but one of the things too that I'm looking to talk more in depth about tomorrow as I get more details on it, but apparently people are just kind of finally fed up in the back with Nia Jax. And that's something that really interests me because she's had so many people defend her.
Wait a minute. Why are we going away from AEW review right now?
I was just filling time. So.
Oh, okay. I think we should go back to AEW. Come back to Nia at the end.
Well, I was selling out of nowhere and what we're going to talk about.
Oh,
tomorrow,
I get what you're saying. Okay, go ahead.
But finally, people in the back are genuinely upset. So that's going to be something as we got more info coming in. You definitely want to tune in to talk about tomorrow with Out of Nowhere.
Okay. I thought we were talking about now. I was like, oh my God, we're going to talk about this now?
No. I'm giving the plugs. But yeah, I'm genuinely surprised because she's had so many people defend her time and time again. So hearing some of this is a bit shocking. But
she seems like a fat cake eating pig. I mean,
seems like people are tired of it. So after the pretty good Jericho and MJF match, they said that they wanted to go ahead and have MJF talk with Sammy, and they weren't able to kind of meet up yet, so they had that promo happen later on. After that, we had Cody come out to the ring with Arn Anderson, and I get what they're doing here, but my God, it's boring. I like Cody. I like Arn. I like Tony. Got the Southern, draw. Let's do it. But no, I just can't get into it. I want to, but knowing that it's leading to the Shaq part doesn't interest me. I have no desire to see Cody and Shaq wrestle. That's a spectacle to me personally that I just don't find interesting.
Wanda Justice is mad about Darby Allin's a racist or something. What's up with that? What happened now?
Oh, interesting. God knows.
We'll come back to that later. I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds. Oh, you mean the GG guy? Oh, he's into that guy with the. G.G. Allen or whatever.
Oh, really?
Well, I guess he was tributing him somehow. Well, I mean, Darby Allin's a psycho, so Darby Allin's big into the punk scene, so I wouldn't be surprised. He likes anything like crazy punk, whatever. I don't know. What did he tribute him on? I don't even know. We'll look it up later. We'll talk about it later, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
So after that, they went ahead and they showed obviously the footage of Shaq basically calling out Cody Rhodes for a fight. So then Cody comes out. He gives his just typical classic promo response. He even says that he's going to give his classic promo response. But unfortunately, his wife's pregnant. They can't have the match. And it goes on and on to get to the result of, okay, I'm going to accept the fight, but we're going to have somebody else take Brandi's place. I get what they're going for, but it kind of seemed obvious last week that they were going to have Red Velvet step up.
Well, we already knew it. We knew it right away. We even knew it before they said it because we were like, well, obviously the person to step in
would be Red Velvet.
Yeah.
Because her and Brandi had a relationship, so it made sense because
she was like her protege. Yeah.
So it fit in that sense.
A black woman
she was
too,
fighting for.
Yeah, it's just like a very who's the closest to Brandi Rhodes who can probably wrestle better than Brandi.
So everything that they did to build up to the surprise of Red Velvet, I feel like was a waste. It was a miss to me. This whole segment just felt like a wash. Something that didn't need to happen here. I know they need to get the tagline of Cody and Shaq there. So now it's going to be Shaq and Jade, who are both not wrestlers, or at least Jade's learning and still I imagine green as shit, but. Having a partner in Shaq, I'm worried about that matchup.
Right.
We'll see how that turns out. But if that's not some type of cinematic something, if they're going to have that really at the pay-per-view, we'll see how that goes. Because you think to most celebrity involvements, and look at what Snoop Dogg just did off the top ropes. That was a total disaster. So,
Pelosi bought up $1 million worth of Tesla options at the $500 ahead of Joe Biden's announcement that he would be transitioning the U.S. fleet to electric vehicles. Now that everyone's watching the stock market, maybe we can finally have a discussion about the rampant insider trading in Washington, D.C. So don't let anybody tell you guys that the GameStop AMC stuff is bad, because your own stupid government is doing it. How about right before COVID came out, they all cashed in millions and millions of dollars and then took off. So just so you know, you're all being screwed, America. You're all being played by your own government and everybody ahead of you. They've all suckered you into believing everything. You're all losers, and they think you're fucking stupid. So good luck to all of you and everybody in this country as they come for you, but then they do whatever they want to do. Hell is coming to this country in the next couple of years. You can follow my tweets about it on Twitter, and we'll talk more about it. How is it okay for Darby Allin to tribute a dead racist punk, Gigi Allen? Oh, yeah, so it's a big thing on Twitter is going on, so I don't know I didn't know what was the tribute he gave. I don't understand what the tribute was.
Well, because his last name, Darby Allin.
Oh, Allen, that's where it came from?
Gigi Allen was a severe freak. I mean, eating his own
This is why I
on
did
stage.
not become a detective, by the way. This is why I didn't become a detective.
But I don't think that would label Darby as a racist just because of, an influence.
No, people. I don't think people are saying he's a racist, but they're saying sympathizer to a racist. That's what people are saying.
God knows.
I mean, I'm unaware the guy was racist either. If I just heard his music and stuff, I'd be like, oh, cool. But I didn't know he was. Now, I'm sure other people, maybe you guys know. I don't know. I don't know enough about that scene. I mean, obviously I was into goth and some punk and metal and rap and everything, a lot of metal and rock and industrial. But, as far as some of the 80s punk and earlier punk stuff, I understand, but I don't know that much. You know what I mean? I mean, it'd be like someone saying that, Pantera was racist. And Pantera did some jokingly racist things, but they weren't, they partied with black people and had black crew members, and they got along with it. So I don't know, it's, I'm a Pantera fan. I don't think that they were racist.
I literally don't see one person mention this on Twitter anywhere. The only thing I see is him getting congratulations about best male breakout star for AEW awards.
It's hard to
he
tell,
won
man.
That 2 hours ago.
The government wants all the white and black people fighting with each other so they can run away with all the money. So they're going to keep it up, man. They want you guys all killing each other so they can run away with the money. That's what they're doing.
People are just talking about the Sting and Darby promo and the fact that he won the breakout star of the year for the AEW awards. That's it.
Yeah. This country's crazy, man. This place is going to be burning in an inferno soon.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
I mean, this shit's out of control with what they're doing, dude. Nobody even talks about the four governors or whatever senators that cashed out. They don't even talk about them. No one's even talking about them. Still, I'm talking about them, but nobody else is. They're talking about COVID and Trump and Biden and everything. How about the people that cashed out on the stock market when COVID was about to go down? They made hundreds of millions of dollars on you all getting COVID and this whole COVID thing. Nobody even cares. They're I don't know. How did they know ahead of time that all these things are going to be announced? They announced the shutdown days after these people cashed out their stocks strategically. They knew exactly what they were doing. It's
yeah, talk about insider trading,
Yeah.
Doesn't never fail to
oh, man, I don't understand how this country... it's Nancy Pelosi said, I don't know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. I don't know why people aren't attacked all over the country. That's what Nancy Pelosi said. If I said something like that on YouTube enough, I'd be investigated. But Nancy Pelosi, I don't know why that there's not uprisings everywhere. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why that there aren't more uprisings everywhere. And they're coming. They're coming. Get ready. They're dragging you out of your mansions. It's coming. Are you ready? It's coming. People are fucking waking up. First, they attacked each other because they got freaked out. First, the people in this country attacked each other because they were because people are nobody believes anything. So craziness is starting to happen right now. And because we're all forced to be inside most of the time, we're all seeing everything. So people are, first they all come together when the pandemic started. Then we all started tearing each other apart. Now people are coming together. Republicans and Democrats are tweeting out AOC's tweet because they're all coming together on the GameStop AMC thing and the big Wall Street stuff and the government and everything like that. So what are you going to do when Sure, some of the people in the country keep doing the whole racial thing and fighting about dumb shit, but what are you going to do when most people come together and understand what you're doing to everybody? What are you going to do then? Because it's going to get real scary for Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and every other piece of garbage in Washington. There's going to be some real crazy shit that goes down soon, and they're going to eat your fucking families.
Just donate to Joe? Did you just donate to Joe? Thank you for the donation. And because you donated, I'm going to fist myself in the bunghole.
Lex Luger's chiming in.
Lex Luger tipped $6.66. What a main event.
What?
Fuck the Marlins.
Wow. Fuck the Marlins. Lex Luger, thanks for the 666, man. Yeah, it was a great main event, man. Great main event. But yeah, we'll talk about the stock market at another time. It's going off, man. It's crazy. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, John, and thank you, Lex Luger, for the 666 donation. Much appreciated. It's unbelievable. So, like, you know, it was okay. Cody's out there, whatever. Red Velvet, I thought the end of her promo was good. She started, like, fumbling.
She's going to tear your bitch ass up.
Did you hear?
She's going to swear to make herself sound tough. I know.
I thought it was good. I mean, I don't know. But she's not. It's hard to make it as personal. You know,
that's
because
the thing. She just doesn't really fit in this. I mean, she fits, but it's like it still doesn't have the same effect as Brandi would. So it's just, you know, it's like a supplemental fill-in. So it's still not as good. And then even still, I'll take her and Jade having a match
because Brandi cut that awesome promo on Jade. So
yeah.
we all liked Jade. Like, we liked Jade. The best thing about Jade is she's impressive, and you don't really love, like, you're not a big fan of her. She's clearly a heel. She's definitely someone that's awesome, but like, you want to boo her and see her, like, whatever. And when Brandi came out and Brandi said all that shit to her, you actually got behind Brandi, even if you've been roasting Brandi in the past about her wrestling or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, she was so genuine and sincere in that moment.
Right.
And what she said was so believable, and she did it in such a powerful way that people that had been shitting on her, myself included, for weeks, gave her, like, promo of the century in that moment because it was just so shocking. It was such a out-of-nowhere, exceptional moment for her, and it was really top-notch. I just don't have any interest with Shaq in any of this. He could barely walk, never mind do anything athletic to wrestle at this point in time. What are we going to get from Shaq and Cody? I don't know. Maybe it's you know, it's just out of my realm. But
we're going to look back on this as basically just, it had. What's funny is Cody and Shaq was nothing, and the only thing that put this over. The only thing that put this, and listen, I hate to say this because I like Jade a lot, and I do. I think Jade's awesome. But the thing that put this whole thing over was Brandi Rhodes. She's the one who put it over with that promo. That's the minute that I said,
she made that original night memorable. I mean, Jade, what she did initially was very good, and she gave Brandi the opening for that to happen. But Brandi's moment there was what made that entire night as memorable as it was.
Let's listen.
Absolutely.
Let's take a listen. Here it is.
Your dizzy ass up here looking real confused, so let me spell this out for you. You up in my house, smacking your gums at my man, and now you my problem. I'ma make this real easy for you. Don't you ever talk to him like that again. Don't you even look at him. And you know what else you can do? You can take your ratchet, trifling ass right up off my stage and do not come back unless I send for you. Do you understand me, heifer?
Damn.
Good.
Still so much venom in that.
Cool.
She really did
Bitch,
give
get
it
your
legs.
ass
I
outta
agree
here.
with her. She made that 100% fire.
And she even brought it into, like, I kind of own this company. Like, I'll tell you when you can come out here. It's like, dude, so what it is it's not really Jay. It's not Red Velvet's fault. You know.
No, it's not.
It's just that it's like, you know,
the main attraction has been taken away, unfortunately, for no one's fault of their own. I mean, Brandi's pregnant, so if Cody could have just pulled out, we wouldn't have had this issue. But you know,
right? I mean, can you please,
we get
like,
it.
Maybe you should have pulled out of that. But no,
maybe you should have just stuck to anal.
Just
or
for a
few
more weeks, and we would have been all right, you know, or months or whatever. It's just, you know, Jade was a 7 in my opinion, and I was like, yeah, man, I like what Jade's doing. That's a 7. Let's see what happens. And then when Brandi came out with that and I'd give that an 8.5. And especially for Brandi, you almost want to give it extra credit because it was Brandi. And you went,
exactly.
Oh shit, now I'm in, dude. I don't even fuck Shaq and Cody. I want to see that shit. But now Brandi's gone, so Red Velvet's just cutting promos like, I'm here to step in and I'm coming to get you, Jade. And it's kind of like, I'm
going to tear your bitch ass up. And saying that, it's like,
it's all right.
Sound cool. And
I'm not as down on it as you. I don't think I'm as down on it as you. I think it's all right. But
it just didn't grab me as much. Not so much that I'm down on it, because I don't hate this. It's just not grabbing me like I hoped it would. Because the only two problems I had with this show was this segment and then the Dolph Ziggler match that they had next with Adam Page.
A lot of people are making fun of her, though. Wait, she ain't black, people are saying. No, man, I mean, listen, so what's up with Brandi is people always bring this up. I don't know, they bring up race and stuff like not black enough and things like that. It's like, what? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what, does she have mixed parents, Brandi?
I thought so. I thought we looked this up at one point.
She's got it because she has a European. There's a style, like her hair and the way there's a look to her that's European. She actually looks like she has the face of more of a European.
Brandi Rhodes'
face.
Ethnicity. She belongs to the Afro-American descent. Let's see if it gives us more details here. Her parents.
Somebody
ethnicity.
somewhere was European. Somewhere.
The first question on Google for autofill is ethnicity, so people want to know, obviously.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's her parents or great-grandparents or back in the day, way back, somewhere along the lines. So that's why, and I'm only bringing this up because I see the chat is just like obsessed with it. Dude, think of how sick you are to be like questioning somebody's and it's like a lot of white people too, questioning someone's blackness or whatever. Like, what the fuck? What weird? Who gives a shit? She's pretty much mostly black. Like, she's like, what do you want to know? I mean, like, I'm mostly from the UK and Scottish and Irish. You know, I don't know. Like, the bottom line is, I understand what you're saying because you are used to hearing Brandi speak with this very elegance, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And she's going full, like, ghetto in this promo. So people are like, whoa, they think it's, like, fake or something. But, when people get angry, like even when I get angry, like, my accent starts coming out. Like, when I get angry, my original real accent starts coming out. I don't know why that is, but that happens. So when Brandi gets angry, she's used to being on TV. Hi, everybody. Well, I'm Brandi Rhodes, and he's that. But then when Brandi gets mad, oh, you want to do that? I'll fuck you up. That's it. Just goes there. It's just what
she
happens.
Got that a
just
little
like
bit deep
my
fried
accent.
Attitude. It was great.
Yes.
It says right here she holds American nationality and belongs to black ethnicity. Her birth side is Cancer. At the age of 4, she was a competitive figure skater.
Me too, Brandi.
There's no
We're
shared
both
information
cancers.
about her parents.
We're both water signs, probably, Brandi. We're both Cancers, Brandi. You got to hire me now. Where's Cody? Cody, I need a job as a commentator. Let's go. Fire Don Callis. He's an idiot.
We don't know if Jade can wrestle. Some people have said that she's done very well and that she was something to look out for. That's great. We just haven't seen it personally. So I'm, reserved with that. It just is unfortunate that we lost, the appetizer is left, but the main course is now ruined. So.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. People bring up the ethnicity, so I don't know, man. Big Swole's always got it going on.
Yeah,
compared
but
to
going into the next match, I'm sorry, Ryan Nemeth. Obviously Nick Nemeth is Dolph Ziggler, and then having him be the Hollywood hunk and shake his ass just like Ziggler, and not only to mention that he also really looks like Dolph Ziggler. His last name is virtually almost identical to Ziggler's real last name. Like he even wrestled like Dolph Ziggler. I don't even know if you noticed that, but there were certain times where he like the way he pinned Hangman for the 2 count. He did the same leg slide that Dolph does. He did the same underneath with the elbow. It looked like a perfect clone of Ziggler. So what a waste this guy is. I'm sorry, but he needs a total overhaul. That's just Hollywood hunk is not going to work if they're keeping him around. That literally is like when they had fake Razor, this is fake Dolph. That's all this is, just fake Dolph. And it was not a great match either, unfortunately. Hangman looked decent here, but it was all to sell the aftermath of Matt Hardy, coming out, rooting on Hangman, and then trying to sell him up on the offer of joining Matt Hardy. Matt's trying to start this new heel faction itself. He seems to be building up slowly. And, he's trying to get new members in his own right. So was he able to convince Hangman? We're not sure yet, but it is interesting. At least it has some bit of story. So,
yeah, it's
I guess people are saying that's Ziggler's younger brother. So there you go. That's why it's Ziggler 2.0.
Wait a minute, what?
People are saying that's Ziggler's younger brother.
That's really Ziggler? He's really related to Ziggler?
That's really Dolph Ziggler's younger brother. So my
man, they can sell in that family.
Perfectly justified now. Everything I said is right. He apparently wrestled as Briley Pierce in NXT, and he is the younger brother of Dolph Ziggler.
Wow.
Somebody else said, thank God they don't have the entrance rights to his brother's theme because they would just have fake Dolph.
That's hilarious.
He didn't stand out. He just looked like a total, just a total rip-off of his brother.
Well, I mean, that's not fair because his brother's a ripoff of HBK and Mr. Perfect.
I know, which he is, but at least there's things that I can identify that Dolph does, and I'm like, oh, that's Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, Mikey, you really think that that's going to be good? Watching Grimm's Toy Show slam me through a table, that's going to be the shit? You're an idiot, Mikey. What an asshole. This guy thinks it's going to be good when Grimm slams me through a table. Do you realize that, Jake?
Yeah.
This guy sucks.
You're just going to get pounded through that wood. Well, like I said, with the last name being the same, I thought they were just doing it as a joke, kind of oh, that's his name because it's going off because he kind of looks like Ziggler, and I didn't think that was actually his brother. So hey, yeah, look at me. It is legitimately his sibling.
Hey, Mikey, why don't you take a look and realize what happened the last time I met up with Grimm's Toy Show? Huh? So before I truck my ass up to that smokestack state, New Jersey, why don't you take a look at what happened the last time Grimm's Toy Show was in a ring with me? Why don't you take a look at what happened the last time Grimm's Toy Show was in a ring? Look at this. I tried to get away to go get... I was trying to go, actually... one of the guys in the ring was injured. Okay? One of the younger guys who I've never seen before, he hasn't had much experience. He actually was injured. I was going to get him some medical tape. And then son of a bitch Grimm reached out and grabbed me and pulled me back in the ring. And you know what, Grimm? That ended up being a pretty big mistake, wasn't it? Look at this. I was taking care of this guy who was injured over here. This little guy right here. He was hurt. And I was trying to help him. Look, I saw the injury, and I'm like, listen, let me get out of the Rumble and go get some tape for this guy. I know how to fix this injury. Maybe he can even stay in the match. I felt bad for him. His mother paid for him to be there. And so, listen, I was trying to go help him. And then that son of a bitch Grimm wouldn't allow me to administer medical attention to this guy. I've got a little bit of a medical background myself, the Heimlich maneuver and other things. I can save a baby. And he goes and grabs me and stops me from trying to help this guy and then brings me back into the ring, and let's just see what happens, okay? So let's just see what happens. And by the way, I'm out of shape here. I'm way out of shape here. Haven't been in a ring in forever. Grimm's in the ring every week. You wouldn't know it by his fat, flagellant ass. But look at this.
He'd be wrestling nonstop, though.
Right, exactly. And he thinks he's got me here. He thinks he's got me. This is years ago, too. Now I'm getting back in shape again. Look at this. Boom! Oh, he didn't see that coming. Oh, yeah, right to the ear. And then run right to the back of the head. And now he don't know where he is. And then up and over. Oh, that's what happens when you get in the ring with Joe. Grimm, you fucking idiot. So go ahead and say what you want.
How embarrassing it's got to be eliminated from your own battle royal.
Right. He got eliminated from his own battle royal. And then the only reason
but
I
to
didn't
be eliminated by
the
another
Rumble.
YouTube personality? Oof,
right. And smaller, too. Less people. And here's the other thing. I would have won. Look at the people in the ring. There's only 4 more people left in this ring. I would have won the Rumble. But then, not only did Grimm stop me from saving a guy who broke his ankle, and I could have given him medical attention. That's number 1. Then number 2, he forced me to come back in the ring, and then I eliminated him. And then number 3, I'm in the match legally, about to win, and then he cheats because he pulls me out of the ring when he's not even a part of the match.
Stupid.
This is bullshit right there.
Pulling you right over by the wrist.
And that's New Jersey in in a nutshell, just cheating. Chris Christie, also fat. I mean,
Epitome of losers.
What a bunch of idiots. Like, he was going to be embarrassed because he's like, Joe Cronin is out of shape. He's been sitting behind a microphone for the last 6 years, hasn't been in a ring and wrestled. And I invite him out to New Jersey. I'm going to embarrass him. I'm just going to throw him out of the ring. It's going to be funny. But then Joe Cronin plays medical aid. I played literally doctor. I was able to be a doctor, eliminate Grimm, and then I got cheated out of winning the Rumble. That's what happened. So, no, I don't think he's going to slam me through a table, you asshat idiot. I think I'm going to beat the shit out of Grimm in New Jersey, and then after I injure him so bad that he's going to wish he got COVID and had to bail out of the match, he's going to be at a hospital, but not for COVID, because Joe kicked his ass, okay? And then we're going to take a picture of Grimm, and then in the dictionary, where it says loser, I'm going to somehow paste in on Wikipedia a picture of Grimm's fat New Jersey face, okay? Well, your next girlfriend's gonna leave you too, and if you have kids with her, she'll take those kids too. Let's take a donation. Shit bomb.
You become a shit bomb.
Evan Wright, what's
Raw
up?
makes me want to die. Dynamite brings me back.
That's what it's like, man. Evan Wright, I mean, dude, you're right. It's like so boring Monday night, and even last week's AEW wasn't the greatest. And
no, this was better than last week.
Fresh air tonight. Yeah, this was like, Evan, you nailed it. It was fresh air, Jake. You're right.
It was much better. After that, and the reason, because I thought Ziggler's last name, I knew it was Nemeth, but I thought it was Nameth.
Okay.
So I thought there was Ryan Nemeth, and it was Nick Nemeth. That's why I even said before when I was talking, I said almost the same last name. I said almost identical because I didn't think they were related, because I thought they had different last names, because I thought Dolph's was spelled differently.
Right.
So that is hilarious that I made all those assumptions that he's actually his brother.
You're like connecting the dots, and then you found out like it's just really funny.
But we'll see what happens with Hangman. And then we had an excellent match with Dax Harwood taking on Jungle Boy, and we actually saw Tully go off the friggin' ropes. That was great.
Dude,
for the
what the
Spike
hell?
Pile driver. That was nuts.
I saw Tully Blanchard 2 years ago at FanFest. He looked like he needed a wheelchair to be dragged around, and then I'm seeing him do this. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on?
Yeah, there's times where he looks like he's a senile old man that's shaky and doesn't know where he is, and then you see him doing stuff like this, and you're like, my God, you're killing it.
It's
crazy.
Very strange. Oh my God, dude. Dude, Mikey goes, my boy super kicked your ugly face, and we'll do it again July 4th, you Fenway fuck. Fenway fuck. Oh, man, listen. I'm going to hang Grimm at Fenway, okay? I'm going to hang him from the Green Monster, and then I'm going to take the pitching machine out of the dugout. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to hit line drives at his ball sack, all right? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at Fenway. It'll be a Grimm hanging from the monster. Okay, Grimm looks like Gritty too. I'm gonna have the Fenway Green Monster. I'm gonna have Wally the Green Monster beat the shit out of Gritty. Okay, and I know the Gritty's Philly. It's not New Jersey. It's all cheese eating Italians. What's the difference? All fat cheese eating Italians. So we're gonna beat up Gritty, just in the spirit of the whole thing. Bomb! Hey, JCS foot rub.
You become a shit bomb.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, JCS foot rub.
Yeah, foot rub.
And
so this match was great because they really heavily told the story of FTR not being able to win because they can't cheat. Tully and Cash handcuffed to Luchasaurus. Marco's injured, so he's not much of a help here. I wish they didn't have the picture-in-picture break because they really had a lot of momentum. You see Jungle Boy going headfirst in the barricade, and it's like, picture-in-picture, whatever. But at least they can I can't complain about. They had a really competitive match. I like the back and forth pin attempts, and then the fact that Jungle Boy got a clean victory with the STF for the submission is huge for him. I mean, definitely a rising star that everybody should be on the lookout for. I see big things in his future. And then the beatdown afterwards was excellent because they get their heat back, and Tully, he even falls over as he lands doing the pile driver, but it looked great. It was just a real surprise. So that made me pop. And then, of course, SCU and Top Flight runs out to scare off the big bad FTR. but I enjoyed it. I really liked the match, and it just gets me hyped more for their feud. So they even cut off Luchasaurus's horns, leaving him handcuffed to the ropes at the end.
Dude, we knew it when Tony bought it because we're big fans of the song Tarzan Boy. We're such big fans. But, dude, this thing put that over so huge because you can come out to Tarzan Boy for 38, 40, 50 seconds, and it's fun, and you love the song, and it's a great song. Great move by Tony Khan. But with all the preparation that had to happen, we got to listen to Tarzan Boy for 3 minutes. So it was just like, dude, I was like, let's go, dude. If I had had any beers in me, like if I had 2 beers in me, I would have been cranking that song like, let's fucking go.
Dancing.
Dude, now I'm in the Jungle Boy. Like a lot more. That's what he was missing. People don't understand how important music is. Cody Rhodes' theme.
It's extremely important.
Oh, God, it's so good. The Cody Rhodes theme is so good. Not now. It's ruined by Snoop. But it was so good. Jericho's theme was fire tonight. They did the cringy singing again where the girls look at each other like it's the 80s and they go, just in my mind. It's like cringy, but like it's still
they really got
fun.
to stop singing that. They should just save that for like pay-per-views.
Save
or
for the
special
crowds.
events.
Save for the crowds.
Yeah, not when you have all of your mid-carders and jobbers around the ring screeching it.
I do got to say, you are right about one thing, Mikey, Mikey. I did look like a Keebler elf. Like, I do look like a fucking Keebler elf. Dude, I mean, you know me, I used to be so skinny and stuff like that, but ever since getting plump in the last couple of years, especially the last 4 or 5 years, I am starting to look like a chubby, cock-gobbling Keebler elf. Like, there is no doubt about it, man. I need to lose 40 pounds, and I need to lose it as soon as possible because I can't stand the way I look. I don't know what happened to me. Obviously, I think it's worse for me because at 27 and 28, I was still thin and eating shit, right? And so even at 29, I was eating shit. Now I'm 36, and I didn't really start getting fat until 32, so I think I was like, oh, I can do whatever I want,
Before you could burn it all off, your metabolism was perfect. Now you just smell cookies and gain weight.
Yes, you're right. So he's right about that. I got to lose about 40 pounds, man. And then after that, I can start getting ripped again. See, the problem is I keep lifting. I've been lifting recently. Like I lift, not a lot. I just lift a little bit and I do push-ups. And then that's about it. I do like a little jogging and I play with the kids, soccer, basketball around, whatever. But like, dude, man, I got to start getting out there because if just doing a little bit of just push-ups and a couple of little lifts, like not a lot, like 6 lifts, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 push-ups, and then a couple jumping jacks, and then that's it once in a while every other day or whatever it is. If just doing that, just doing those things, and really not a lot of labor, right? Because I'm not doing a lot of labor doing these shows. I'm just sitting here talking. If I can look like this just with that, which is completely lazy, nothing, imagine what my arms could look like if I start working out.
Yeah, if you really put motivation into it.
Imagine if I start working out for real, like I could probably beat the shit out of you, Grim.
Joe Rogan is so right when he says it, and I it sounds so cliche, but he's got a great point. People say, "Oh, I'm too tired to exercise," or "I don't have enough energy." I used to say, "I'm in too much pain." Well, can you get up and walk to the fridge? Can you get up and turn on the TV? Things like there's so many exercises you can do just sitting in a chair. I couldn't even believe it. When I started the DDP yoga stuff recently and all that kind of whatnot, it's worked well. But I remember waking up the other day and being like, that's a muscle I didn't know I had that hurts like hell.
Yes.
But it's a good thing. You know
what does it for me, Jake, is I like games. You guys all like games too, like, right? You guys like little games and things to do. You know what's fun is I have a little soccer net, a kid's soccer net in the house. And all the time, I have a lot of fun putting on a podcast sometimes and kicking the soccer ball into the net. And like doing crazy tricks and then kicking the ball. When I start doing that, even for a few minutes, after a little while I get, okay, I'm done with this. But what it does in the meantime of 1 minute to 6 minutes when I'm doing it, it starts getting me going. And I start feeling like I want to do some stuff. Like, whereas I didn't feel that way before, I felt completely lazy. So like just get up and do anything, and suddenly the valves of your body will start moving, and you'll be like, yeah, I kind of want to do something, I think. And just put sneakers on. It's funny, if you just even put sneakers on after it, and you just stand up, you just start feeling like you're athletic or something. And then, dude, it's
once
weird.
you get the drive to start moving, you're going to want to move more.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
You really, once you feel that little bit of a burn or motivation or drive, that gives you more effort. So you just have to get over that first initial hurdle, and those things they become habits quickly. So,
and then the trick is really just trying to repeat them every day, and it not just being, because once in a while you can do that and you realize it. Once you start to realize it, oh yeah, why did I go for a run today? I never want to run, but I ran today. Or why did I do this today? A lot of the time it's something triggers that, and it's super good. Just go out, just do it anyway. You're gonna fucking love it. Play a game, play basketball.
You become a shit bomb.
JCS Foot Rub, what's up?
JCS for life.
Thank you, man. We love you, brother. If I didn't do that though, I only do it once a week, but it seems like at some point once a week I start like playing a game or playing basketball with the kids. A lot of times it's the kids. My kids end up doing it, hey, I want to play basketball. So we play a little basketball in the house, like the little basketball hoop, the little thing in the house, the little plastic ball. And I start feeling like whatever, and that's usually when I then go and do labor around the house. Bomb! It's weird.
You become
because it gets me going.
A shit bomb.
Instead, what happens is normally I'll be sitting in front of this computer and I'll just be reading stories and looking things up and wanting to do podcasts. And if I'm not sure what to do, I'll start playing a game. And it's like I'm just constantly sitting and I'm getting that rush from this stuff. And but when the kids go, hey, I want to play basketball. And I'm like, all right, listen, I'll take a break from this. And I start playing with them. And then after that, I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll go for that run now. Yeah, I'm going to go. And it's like, it's weird. It's like you fake yourself into working.
You
Botch Club.
A shit bomb.
Yo,
what up, bro? You went ghost on me. I have 2 COVID 316 shirts for you both, and I have 2 packs of Stone Cold beer ice cold for you both.
Oh yeah!
Can we meet tomorrow, Joe?
What's up?
Meet in Woonsocket?
From Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Yeah, I think we can probably meet tomorrow, man. I got wicked busy today. It went actually crazy shit happened today that I haven't talked about yet, but it's not a big deal. It's just crazy shit went down. Botch Club, thank you, man. Botch Club has 2 T-shirts. Dude, he's got Stone Cold beer. Are you serious, Botch Club? Stone Cold beer, bro. Yo, we're going to meet in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, where all the violence and crime takes place in my area. And we'll have... It's going to be fun, man. I always love when Howard Finkel would announce somebody from Woonsocket, Rhode Island. It was great. Or Worcester. That was another one good,
Worcester
too.
was the,
From Worcester, Massachusetts. That was always good from Howard Finkel. So, yeah, tomorrow it looks like we're going to be able to get the COVID shirts. That's great.
Hell yeah.
What happened was my son stayed up. He woke up at night and he was up all night. And so I was up all night with Finn. And I went to bed at 9 a.m. or something like that. And so I slept until 4 p.m. Then woke up oh my God. And then I had to clean up and do all this stuff. And we had problems and whatever. Anyway, it was crazy. But yeah, I had a bad night last night. So that's why I also didn't do anything last night for Throwdown. And I didn't do anything during the day for you guys on Anywhere because we had problems with Finn and me and everything I did. And then, Leah has to take the other kids to school stuff and monitor their stuff and work with them on their things. So, yeah, it was crazy. But Botch Club probably tomorrow.
Gets overwhelming.
I thought Botch Club said he has COVID. I'm like, well, good thing I didn't go to see you today or whatever.
That's how it started at first, yeah. What do we get into next? We had Britt Baker and Shanna, however you want to say her name. It's an unfortunate situation here because Britt's not going to lose when next week she's got her big match finally with Thunder Rosa. So, Shanna making her comeback on a Dynamite after, looking good on Dark and finally, relocating to the U.S. You figure she moved not that long ago to make this, a full-time thing, and she's working hard on it. And she looked impressive in the ring tonight, but it wasn't great by any means. It was good, though, for the women. For how the women usually look, I did enjoy this match. It wasn't anything to write home about, but certainly was solid.
Yeah, it was okay.
The after beatdown was good. Thunder Rosa coming out was good as well. It's hyping everything up for next week's beach break.
Thunder Rosa's got a good theme. Thunder Rosa always hot, very charismatic. Love her. Britt Baker has been pretty good, man, to be honest, for the most part. And I was happy with that. I was happy with Jungle Boy's match too. We really didn't talk a lot about the match itself, but going back to Jungle Boy's match with Dax, is it Dax Harwood?
Yeah, Dax Harwood.
Hardwell or something?
Harwood.
I said Hardwood. Huh?
No, and Cash Harwood. Wheeler. I don't care for either of these
Those names are the worst, man. I just can't. How about Cash and Dash? Or how about...
Yeah, because I like Dash originally, Dash and Dawson. That worked for me, but...
How about just
still,
like,
hey, whatever. But the match, yeah, for that, I mean, Jungle Boy looked amazing.
that was his best match ever, I think. I mean, I thought it was
for the whole night. Yeah, I mean that slingshot power bomb they did. I thought that was going to be the finish of the match, just with how well that was executed. I was like, oh, Jungle Boy's losing here because that looked so good. I was blown away with that for a hell of a near fall.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what else.
It was a good
they
match.
had a few moments in there that was really quite impressive.
It's weird. It felt like a big fight match. It honestly, to be honest, I that match reminded me of like that should have been for like a mid-card title almost, I thought. Something like that.
Yeah, that would be a good spot for the TNT title. I feel like the TNT title is being wasted right now being on Darby Allin because he's not going to be able to defend it while he's going through the street fight feud with Team Taz.
Right.
So that's the unfortunate part of Cody not having the title still. I don't mind that they gave it to Darby, but maybe they could have waited had they had this planned out beforehand.
That's a good point.
So,
AJ Adams just dropped a dono. I didn't hear that. It didn't play a thing. That's why I keep the little hillbilly around and some of the chickens, because I know people from Kentucky are rednecks and they F family members and farming. Oh, my God. AJ Adams. AJ Adams.
Well, if you got to keep him around, might as well keep him in the family.
AJ Adams hates white people. AJ Adams hates white people.
Thank you, AJ Adams, one of our blackest listeners, and he hates white people. Appreciate the donation as always, AJ. You know the deal. Man, have you ever seen AJ Adams too? He's like, man, fuck you. I hate these mother. AJ, thank you.
He's
it's all
no
right.
joke.
Good thing
you said our blackest listener in more ways than one.
He is very, very Wesley Snipes looking. Like
Shit bomb!
I'm the whitest person.
You
Oh my
become
God!
A shit bomb.
I'm Casper, the friendly Cronin.
Wasn't a particular good night for AU, maybe 6/10. I will say that
What?
I loved the Dax versus Jungle Boy match. The TNT app glitched out for a lot of people, so AU had to upload the Eddie versus Lance match on YouTube after the show.
I'm gonna watch it later.
Yeah, they had to upload it in full, which I'm glad they did. That they at least tried to fix their mistake best they could.
Yo, I got to give it up. Soundwave dropped $40, man. Soundwave 92, thank you. But you know what? Didn't he give AEW an 8 last week?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I do not remember.
And he gives.
I know I gave it a 6. I would give this week a 7.
Yeah,
so.
see, I would give tonight.
Maybe it was a 5.5. I gave it last week. I would still give this week about like a 6.5 or a 7.
We're still
and
close
Britt
to
Baker,
him.
She has an excellent ass that I didn't know she had either. Someone else said that in the chat, but she was very cheeky tonight. No doubt.
Black Pleb says he's the blackest. Okay.
I saw.
Well, we have to take in like the ghetto and also the color, right? So we really have to weigh both those together. Like whitest, like I'd be the whitest if I was like, guys, tonight I really liked what AEW did. They were really good, and my wife likes it. I liked it. Did you guys like it? My mother came over the other day, and she brought me some milk, and she told me that she doesn't watch wrestling any. Now, I'd be the whitest, because I'm super white and pale, so like we can see how pale I am, pretty Casper-like. I'm pretty close, so I'm almost the whitest, maybe. Although Soundwave 92 is pretty white, so he's pretty Casper-like too. So I'm less whitest because I don't quite talk like that. But if you mix me in enough, sheltered me enough, and then I had this pigment, then we could be in the conversation for whitest. But I think so. AJ,
Yeah, I'm pretty white and nerdy as well. So
yeah, I mean we're pretty nerdy. But see, like, listen, if my father hadn't have died. Right, if my father hadn't have died, I was so nerdy, like so sheltered and nerdy, dude. I would have been so whatever. But because my father died, and I got to see the dark side of the world by moving to South Boston and then into Boston and getting a little bit of edgy into me, I don't think I can be considered. It's like I'm super nerdy, but I'm still these other things too. So like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not quite there. So I'd have to pass that buck off to somebody else. Jungle Boy, Ty Care says, Jungle Boy match was only good match in 2 hours. Everything else was just kind of entertaining. Yeah, I agree. I think we agree. But I think, one thing we said last week was, last week there really wasn't a match.
There was no standout match last week. So at least out of the 6 matches they had this week, one of them was pretty damn stellar. Britt Baker's match wasn't bad. Plus, we found out that the one and only Riho returns next week for the Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. For the first round, it's Serena Deeb, the NWA Women's World Champion, taking on Riho. So that'll be exciting. I'm sure Cornette will be excited to see her return.
You know what? I can't wait to listen to Cornette talk about the Tony Khan promo for Impact if he even watched it. How about?
Oh, that was horrific. Tony seemed like the last few have been okay, but the one this week, people sent it to me constantly on Twitter. He seemed like the biggest mark, and I hate using that phrase.
Well, wait
honestly,
a minute here. I'm going to defend him. Tony, when you hire me, we'll leave Jake here by himself.
All right. You might have to throw me under the bus for that one because I can't let him slide with this. I'll DM it to him and tell him that he looked like a total mark at this point.
Dude,
that was horrific. That was bad. That was embarrassing.
I think he meant it to be.
I kind of think he did too, but the way he was acting, it was like a kid in a candy store. Like, my dad gave me all this money, I could buy the wrestlers, and this is my plaything. I mean, he literally said that.
It was funny. I thought that was funny, my plaything. I was like,
yeah, Impact is his fantasy division, and he took it over, and it's like, I get where they're going with it, but I don't know. He looked really just not great when he's the leader and the head person in charge of AEW. He looked like just a bumbling idiot, and that's not.
Oh no, come on.
He was always, I've got my fantasy wrestling team that I'm running over here with all my money. He looked like a corny idiot, I felt like. That made him look so terrible in my eyes.
He is so
and it made him look bad, too.
He really looks like Rick Moranis. Like, I can't get over how much Rick Moranis he looks like.
Yeah, and it's not the look either, but it just felt like that basement-dwelling, nerdy type, typical done to death stereotype, but that's kind of how it felt. And he's like, I got all this money, so I'm going to buy the things I want, and that's it just made AEW look foolish and kind of like, we're just going to come and Impact, get what I want, and leave. Okay, that's fine.
There's something. It's weird because I watched it and I was like, this is a little cringy, but I've been watching it again, and I don't know what it is, man. But there's something like part of me. I almost said the same thing you said, which is like, well, they should not have done this. But then there's another side of this now that I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm a sick person, but I don't know, man. There's something hilarious about this. I don't know, like I don't know what it is. Like not in a, like
I can laugh at it, that no doubt. And no, I'm not trying to be cynical.
I think he's drunk. I think he's been drinking here. I think he's hammered.
He does look like he's having a good time. So no argument there. I just think it's a bad light for AEW. Honestly, that's all. I would like to see him portrayed in a better light since he is the top person to answer to in AEW currently. I mean, he doesn't have to be Vince McMahon, but
oh my God, yeah. Listen, that's everybody knows that this is him though. He's very smart. He's a smart guy. He's a whatever. I mean, the only thing I would say is the limp wrist was creeping me out. Like I was starting to think, like I felt like I was being raped while watching it because he was like doing a lot of limp wristing, like, and I felt like someone's in my ass right now, like on my unwilling to me, like it was very strange, but and probably Tony was raped. I'll just say it. I mean, I think Tony. Tony, not Tony Khan. I think Tony Schiavone. I think he was raped.
Yeah, that makes sense. That really adds up.
It does. It adds up. You do you look at it. You do the investigation yourself. I think Tony Khan raped Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're not hiring Ryback, because they don't want Ryback to rape Tony Khan.
Yeah, he's the only one allowed to rape, because if you have multiple rapists, then the whole place can go down and everybody tells on each other and stuff like that. But as long as Tony
we heard Ryback absolutely say it over and over again that he loved to be deep inside Vince McMahon.
Yes.
He's not going to get that type of attention in AEW. So
I used to be deep inside of Pat Patterson. I just want to say that Pat Buck is a rapist. Fuck it. Shell shock.
Like, okay, you're going to jail soon, Ryback. But whatever, it's all good.
Really, Meltzer said that Ryback keeps teasing that he signed with a new deal. He's not signing with AEW.
No.
He said that emphatically. Meltzer said over and over he is not signed with AEW. Ryback is specifically spreading all this misinformation because he's battling WWE and feels like this helps him somehow.
Uh-huh.
Like it's getting more eyes on his side. But I just can't help it. I feel like it makes him look like more of a petty asshole.
Somebody goes, Joe, did Joe just call the billionaire guy that he wants to work for a rapist? We're kidding, of course. He's not Tony. I think Tony Khan's just awesome. Like I'm just shitting on him because I'm jealous that I'm not there.
I want him to look better. I like Tony. I just want him to look more official and like garner more respect. To me, he seemed more of like a nerdy fan than an actual leader, and I think that was a bit problematic for the overlooking
Yeah, I
overarching
mean,
AEW.
I think he's okay, but I think he's got kind of the problem that Vince has, right? Like, so Vince McMahon has a problem that there's so many yes men around Vince McMahon that, like, Vince just whatever. Like, there's so many yes men, they don't want to say anything. But I think Tony Khan actually deals with that even worse. I think Tony Khan has that even worse. So nobody's ever going to say when it's not good or when it should be changed.
Everybody wants Tony's money, and it's not just wrestling related. Tony's involved in, soccer, football, whatever you want to call it.
Right. They want his money.
NFL football. He's involved in, so he's got a wide array of business opportunities and things going on. So he must get hit up, and people trying to pretend to be his friend, and especially wrestlers must be reaching out to him endlessly.
Oh my God.
At this point.
I mean, dude, listen. I don't know what this. I think he is great. I like him a lot. I don't know him as a person, but he seems like a great dude. And I want to work for a wrestling company, and I'd love to work for AEW, and I'd love to work for Tony, and I'd love to meet the guy and stuff like that. So
he was very polite and forthcoming and very open.
Just say what I think. Like, at the same time, I thought. But there is something about this promo that kind of cracked me up. Like, so there's something weird about it that I watched it and was like, oh my God. But then I kept watching it. Like, I watched this like 7 times. So there's something weird about it that I'm like, I have to see this.
Because it looks like Tony Schiavone is doing a Make-A-Wish. Yes, that's how it feels. that's the point that I couldn't get out. That's a great summation of what I'm trying to get out here.
Well,
that
listen.
Encapsulates everything that I've been trying to say and couldn't. It certainly feels that way.
This video,
like Tony's just like, here, this is my friend Tony. Like that. It just looks bad to me. That's all.
This got like most TNA Impact videos, I believe. We'll have to go look it up real quick, but I don't think most Impact Wrestling YouTube videos do more than 5,000 views. This did 65,000 views. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, wait. Let's take a look. All right, let's figure out the facts first. No, you know what? Oh man, this actually isn't good. I thought this was gonna crush it. No, they actually do decent. They do. When did they start doing well though? Oh, they've done. Oh, this is ever since AEW. Like,
yeah, AEW's involvement has helped them out. It's been extremely beneficial. Obviously,
well, no,
we knew it would be.
I gotta be honest. Looking at their numbers, Impact.
It's not as beneficial as everyone expected to be. It's not going to be 1 million viewers, like some people were saying, but they're getting 50 to 100,000.
So they're a couple of videos ago they did 97,000, then they did 30,000, 36, 43, 76, 37, 55, 12, 77, 150, 50, 21, 53. This one,
and their average is between like 50 and 90,000.
Yeah, so they did the average here. I thought this blew it away, but it really didn't.
They're getting more since introducing AEW. It is very beneficial for them.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%. AEW working with Impact is huge for Impact. Impact was like I feel like it was not that it was going to go out of business because they never do, but it was like a death's door type of situation.
Yeah, and it's happened to them multiple times where it's like somehow they managed to escape death or come back from the dead.
Yeah,
there's zombies or vampires at this point. And one of the things I want to talk to everybody about tomorrow night on Out of Nowhere, besides the Nia Jax situation, is, funny enough, you brought it up on your own tonight, getting through to Vince McMahon. Why is it so hard to talk to him? Why is it so difficult to get into his ear? Well, we kind of got more of an insight into that, so it'll be a lot to discuss and things I want to hear your opinion about tomorrow on Out of Nowhere. It's going to be good.
It'll be fun for
Shit bomb!
Out of Nowhere at 11 tomorrow night.
You
right
become
here. Oh, Todd.
a shit bomb.
What up, Todd?
Kenny Omega is a joke of a champion, but AU is garbage like the WWE.
Man, I don't know if I can go there with you, Todd Fair.
But him being a joke. I think he's been a pretty respectable champion. I mean, he went over to Impact and beat their world champion. He was involved in AAA, was successful there. I know he cheated to beat Moxley, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know what he's saying, but I don't think it's as bad as WWE.
You become a shit bomb.
JCS Foot Rub All Elite, thanks for the $1. But no, who was it? Todd Fair. Todd, thank you, man, for the donation. $20 from Todd.
Yeah,
that's some crazy stuff. No, I know I can't quite go. By the way, WWE blocked my Raw review.
I saw you tweet that out. it's a bit surprising because it used to happen so often, but it seems like it hasn't happened in a long time. So
you're going to be hearing from my lawyer tomorrow, WWE, just so you know. But to their credit, they didn't strike it. They only blocked it. So, but I mean, I looked through the video. There's nothing. So there's only the thumbnail picture, but that falls.
We didn't play any clips,
right?
So
it falls into fair use. So they blocked my WWE Raw review for the thumbnail, I believe, because they didn't see anything else. They just must have manually looked at it and been like, "Oh yeah, this is still the show."
Yeah, they said that you were playing something from The Undertaker's Last Ride documentary.
It did? Wait, it did? Oh, I didn't even read that.
It says on there. Yeah, it says
oh my God, you're right. Copyright content, Undertaker, The Last Ride. I didn't even see that. I didn't even read my own shit. This donator's dumb because I literally just explained this 2 seconds ago. I just explained this. Why not?
How many times does Debba Jr. have to get rewritten into the canonical version of Tommy's comic book until Debba Sr. throws a hissy fit over a bowl of oatmeal?
Oh, that's terrible. Wino throwdown yesterday. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's weird. Who knows, man? I'm not. We're not even in the book. Like he left all the story about what I did with him and for him and everything out of that book.
But I got a copy of the book.
Good. Yeah, I'd burn it if I had it. But no, I appreciate it, man. There's no we did no throwdown because I was dealing with my son and stuff like that late last night and other things. So it was crazy. No throwdown last night. But yeah, so WWE, man. So they say I played the Last Ride documentary. I don't think we.
That's what it says on there. I went back through after I saw the tweet and I didn't see anything.
I have the videos. Like it lets me watch the video still. I don't. Does anybody remember me ever playing anything from the Last Ride documentary?
No, certainly not.
Dude, I'm gonna ask them for money tomorrow. I'm actually gonna do that. I'm actually going to ask them for money in the email, because that means all super chats went away. Like, so if you super chatted during that Raw review,
revenue earned in that video gets taken away.
Yep. I'm gonna fight that, and I'm gonna email.
You have to fight it, and sadly, I mean, it shouldn't come to this, but it has to be.
I'm gonna email their lawyer tomorrow, unless I find out something else that I'm missing. The Last Ride documentary, did I play something? I don't see anything that we would have played. Did we play an audio clip at all?
Not that I can recall.
And even if we
Steven
did,
Soundwave says we only just mentioned it. I don't remember.
Even if we had played a clip, it's still, that's fair use still.
It would be fair use, but they could still try and claim it. But at least then, you know, but what I've had it happen to me once before for, you know, same thing, nothing was there. And another time for the video game, for the intro, where it just says, you know, the WWE Studios logo. As ridiculous as that is.
I'm definitely emailing their lawyers tomorrow. WWE will be hearing from me tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Get ready, Mike. It's coming, Mike.
Yeah, because you had a $500 donation, so don't want to lose that.
Well, that's not going to go away because that was separate. Luckily, that's what it wasn't a super chat. But
not a super chat.
Man, oh my God, I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't even realize that, dude. I got to write up a letter tonight. I'm gonna hit my lawyer up first. Todd, are you listening? If you're listening, email me. Actually, Todd, I'm going to send you the video if you want to scrape through it yourself just to make sure, double check. My lawyer is listening, and his name is Todd, so that's funny. But no, yeah, Todd, man, let me know if you're listening. I'm going to email you. I'm going to email you the video. I think we made at least $50 in super chats and revenue on everything. So that means Google gets the money back or sends the money to WWE. So and it says they manually flagged it too. So I might even go further with it because they obviously didn't watch it then. So reckless, salary loss. There's got to be something in there. I'm coming for you, WWE, tomorrow.
If you ever want to laugh but be really depressed, look back at pretty much any news YouTube videos from the time span of January 2020 until about April 2020 and how quickly coronavirus escalated. It's sad but funny to watch progression of the freakouts.
Oh yeah. It's also funny to watch like January because Debe Senior I started talking about the virus in January, and we started talking about like what it could be and what could happen, and then to see where it did happen, it's just like really fucked up. Like to look at it, scary.
Now it's a year later, like you said, and here we are looking at it, and we're like, oh, we were supposed to be in quarantine for a month, at least, no more, no less. Just people of the United States who may have to enter quarantine for 3 to 4 weeks, possibly. That was March of last year. Now we found out that, hey, what are you going to do?
Oh, maybe
we might be there for quite a while longer.
Maybe it's the GIF. Did I play a GIF of Botch Club? Did I play a GIF of Botch Club? Somebody's saying I played a GIF of Botch Club. See, I told you. I told Botch Club this. He didn't believe me. He's always like, play the clips. I'm like, I'm telling you, I can't do it.
Maybe you did play something from Botch Club. I think. Oh, you know what? Didn't you play like something that had to do with Vince McMahon? He was laughing or something.
Yes, him crying.
That's what
Vince
it was.
crying because we were like, oh look, it's Vince. Like, and I was like, and it's a Botch Club GIF where Vince is crying. Yep.
Yeah, and that's got to be from the documentary.
Oh, that's what it is. It's from the Undertaker documentary. Yes, it is.
Look at that. We pieced it together. Yeah, Botch Club, we're not joking. They literally, I mean, you see the email there. They come after for every stupid little thing, even if it's something you make your own.
So we did lose all the money
over it.
So that is going to be, that's not going to be that's going to be a tough, I probably could still win though, I feel, but they didn't.
I think it's still fair use, but because that wasn't the intention of why people came to that video. They came to your video for the Raw review, not to get that content, so.
Wow.
They can take your content when you go ahead and you've taken away from their ability to generate revenue, but that wasn't done within your video. So
yep, that cost. Yep, that's what it is. I'm looking at it now. That's what it is. It's the Vince McMahon Botch Club GIF.
Where he's see, so that's from the last ride, and that doesn't even have audio from anything on it too. So they literally came in, saw that, manually flagged it, and claimed it that way.
Yep, they saw and I like, and it's like
assholes because they don't have enough money, right?
Wow, that's crazy. Because like, oh my god, I'm like looking at it. It's like, it was actually a really funny joke, too.
Yeah, it was a hilarious one. It's right here when Vince was saying, he was crying, and the song it was playing was actually the Titanic music.
Right.
It wasn't even WWE. It was the Titanic music.
The Titanic people didn't even hit me.
He makes like the cut gesture over his throat.
I was worried about it when I played it, but I was like, we're manipulating it so much, it's okay,
I thought the audio from the Titanic would have been hit, if anything, not the non-audio Vince GIF. I mean, you can't play. It's just a GIF that repeats, and they're gonna claim a GIF now.
Hey WWE, you gonna be like Big Nose Bimbo from New York? Keep playing your entire show on video and talk about it? Huh, WWE? You're going to keep letting Bimbo Big Nose keep talking about your whole product for hours, but you're going to come after me for a tiny GIF?
A shitball.
These people are jokes. Scumbags. James Mesner, thanks for the $5. No wonder nobody watches your shit. James Mesner, thanks for the $5. Unbelievable. That is what it is. That's what it is. Crazy. I'm still going to hit their lawyers up tomorrow and be like, yo, is this not fair use? And then send them the legal statement. Yeah,
because I think it could be.
I still think it's
fair use.
I still think it's fair use. But they also could have been worse. Like they could
have struck you down.
They could have done that.
Drew just said the problem is now if you disagree with YouTube and they disagree with you, then you get screwed on top of it. So
yeah, so you can't really. It's really just kind of like chalk it up to, oh well, they blocked it. I guess move on. I lose a couple $100 or whatever. So yeah, I lose a couple $100. They blocked the video. That's really.
Now I can't have GIFs anymore. That's terrible.
Well, I mean, that's from a specific thing. I think that they noticed or whatever you want to say. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it has to be because they're claiming it's from the chapter 2 of The Last Ride, and that's exactly what that is.
Right.
That's the clip of him crying. So.
Yeah, I mean. But so that means nobody can show a GIF anymore.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why it's so shockingly horrific. You can't have a freaking GIF up anymore. It wasn't even any content. It was just a GIF.
Right.
With a totally different theme song.
Wow.
Well, at least we know now. Look at that.
Drew sucks so much he literally came in last place in the points on Monetize This 300 championship night. What a loser, COVID downplaying Republican. Loses in the points and loses in Congress and the presidency. Drew must be super sad he keeps losing.
I think so. I think he's pretty upset about it, to be honest.
I was pretty worried. I tuned into his show the other night making sure he didn't hang himself. So, because I know how much he loved that belt. That was everything for him. He wanted that belt, and I think he thought he was going to be the champion. I think he truly thought he was going to win. And for a while, I thought it was possible. But Casey, I'm telling you, that was a shock coming out of nowhere.
Maybe I'll just email WWE's lawyers just to find out. Like,
and email at WWE directly. That's what I had done, and they removed it.
Yeah, I've done it a million times, and they remove things. But I just want to know. Like, I almost want to just be like, "Yo, what's up with the?"
Yeah,
I want to get the.
Why is this sought out and claimed? Because it wasn't it was manually sought out. They searched for it.
Right. Like they looked for that on purpose.
Anybody else have a problem with YouTube chat? It just keeps stopping for me. I have to keep refreshing.
Yeah, that happens all the time. I see that I have to reload it.
Infuriating.
Let me see.
So if I missed anybody's chat, I apologize. Usually I'm better keeping up on top of it. And yeah, the last match we had for the night was the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson taking on the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Impact World Tag Team Champions. Obviously, the Young Bucks are the AEW Tag Team Champions. Taking on Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver from the Dark Order. Obviously, Anna Jay, Colt Cabana, 5 and 10 come out with everybody to make the full Dark Order present. -1, Brody Lee, rest in peace. And we had a pretty good match here. I mean, everybody got their chance to shine individually. Gallows got his big, strong moments, power bombing Uno and Reynolds and Silver, one after the other. And, it sucks that the Dark Order has to lose here because they're on a good momentum, especially coming off of such a tragic loss, for the group and Brody no longer being here. All right, they've got a ton of positivity with them now as fans are giving them this great support. So having them lose here, I get it because you got the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers. Both are their respective brands tag team champions. So you don't want them to get pinned, but you also don't want Dark Order to lose here. So I was hoping they would have some type of DQ angle but that's not what we got. The Young Bucks and Good Brothers prevail. They did the Meltzer driver on Stu and they went and pinned him and that was it. So they come out on top and it all leads to the breakdown of Kenny Omega coming out and Moxley comes out after Ray makes his attack. Ray Phoenix dives onto everybody and takes out the Good Brothers. Kenny Omega is out there and Moxley, hits him with an excellent paradigm shift. The way that was sold was next level good. God damn, right. Kenny sold that one. That was one of the best looking, DDTs I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, look, dude, it looked really good, and the match was pretty good too. I mean, everything was all right with this for the most part, I guess.
And they had more than enough time. They obviously Matt got a chance to speak about next week's Battle Royal, and that if they win, they get to pick their challengers for the pay-per-view. But if they lose, whoever wins gets to face them. So that's cool. You get to have a whole tournament in one night. Like that's an interesting way for them to do that, or Battle Royal, not tournament. Excuse me. And then on top of it, we got the 6-man tag coming next week. So we got Pac, we got Ray Phoenix and John Moxley teaming up to take on the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. So that's a hell of a match. Next week, that's the problem with last week and this week. Last week especially. This week, not as bad because it's kind of their mini go-home show for next week's Beach Break. But the last 2 weeks have been set up and all billed for the Beach Break special. So it's been taking quite a bit to kind of get there. And that's why we haven't had those exciting matches that we usually get, or at least as many as we usually see. So we have the Tag Team Battle Royal. We have the 6-man tag, as I mentioned. We have Britt Baker taking on Thunder Rosa. And then we have Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford's wedding. And obviously we have Chuck, the young boy, being the manservant for Miro, who is the best man. So we got to see what happens there as well. So it's going to be a busy night, and that all obviously leads into AEW Revolution, which will take place March 7th. So they're really starting to build towards that as well.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that the build for next week was really good for the most part. And we actually, I mean, this just feels like more of an exciting thing is happening on AEW next week at this beach party thing than the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, sadly, the Royal Rumble is this Sunday, and I'm more looking forward to what's going on for next week on AEW.
Right.
And that's sad because the Rumble's my favorite. The unpredictability and everything that comes with it is usually so exciting. And they're telling us who's going to be number 30, who's number 1 and 2 already. Like, it's just there's no intrigue for this year's Rumble, sadly.
Right.
There's just nothing special. Why would they tell us Edge is coming back? Just let him come back in the Rumble and try and win it. Why did he have to cut a promo and tell us he's coming back? He could have just cut a promo and still not said that he's in the Rumble.
Yeah, I don't understand.
He could have had that be a surprise.
Luckily, the promo is good.
Be a surprise. The purpose of the Rumble is to have surprises. I just don't get what they're doing on that side. So, but apparently Vince McMahon finally made his decision on who's winning each Rumble. So now they know, and they can start booking and figuring out everything that's going to happen in the Rumble. Because just because they have their winners, now they have to design the fucking match and produce it. So let's see what this shit show turns into by the time Friday happens.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm sure SmackDown will be better than Raw was.
I'm sure it will be, but
and
that's not hard to accomplish. Shit, then you have Charlotte Flair saying that WWE doesn't need Ronda.
You become a shit.
We'll see.
Joe, you still haven't sent me my show tune. Kissing face.
I don't know what that means. Was I drunk for whatever that is?
I do not know.
I got pictures.
You want you to send him a show tune
of your wife. You know who'll send you a show tune is Tony from the rear. He'll
Yes,
send
he
you
will.
a show tune. Shout out to everybody who listened to us on Patreon this week, man. Jump on Patreon if you can. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show if you guys want to hear more stuff. Shout out to the top dog.
Shit bomb!
The Soundwave 92. Top
You
dog.
become a shit bomb.
Shit bomb.
Show tune from Daddy Joe.
I like the name.
Yeah, Daddy Joe. So the only thing we got today that we didn't cover yet is the All Elite Wrestling Moments of the Year. So obviously they had their awards that took place on Bleacher Report. The best moment on the mic came between Cody Rhodes and Brody Lee for their promo with the dog collar accepting for the promo of that match. So that's good. I could see why that was chosen. Biggest surprise, obviously, goes to Sting's debut. Can't argue that. Breakout star for male goes to Darby Allin. I can see why for that as well. I agree. Female is Hikaru Shida. Okay, yeah. Biggest beatdown goes to the Inner Circle jumping Orange Cassidy. So the High Flyer Award went to Ray Phoenix. Again, that makes sense. Hardest
High
moment to
Flyer
clean up
Award.
after.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
High Flyer Award. Oh, it's D. Wells. She's alive.
D. Welsh tip $5. Hey Joe, yeah, that's my new updated Twitter. We can contact me there or on Skype. We need to talk privately about some stuff. Thanks, brother.
Thanks to D. Welsh. She's alive, baby. Man, you got some major heat on your ass.
I'd
tell you
say
that.
so.
Thank you, though, D.
Did
Welsh.
you just donate
Oh,
to
shit.
Joe?
Here comes more.
You just donate to Joe? Thank you for the donation. And because you donated, I'm going to fist myself
Thank
in the
you.
bunghole.
Good God.
Dwayne the Cock Johnson tipped $3. WWE blocked your review because you were interacting with third-party platforms. If you want to blame someone, it's Joe Villa. He is WWE's senior publicist manager.
Dwayne the Cock Johnson, thank you. But Joe Villa is the publicist. Joe Villa hates me because he wouldn't give me access to any of the WWE events or a press pass ever. And I hit him up on LinkedIn one time, and I was like, yo, and he was like, fuck you, this is my private LinkedIn or something like that. And I was like, what? Okay, sorry, you didn't respond on Twitter, so I sent you a message on here. I emailed him, and he didn't respond in email or Twitter, so I sent him a LinkedIn message. And he was like, don't ever message me here. And I was like, okay, Jesus, all right. But no, Joe Villa is the publicist, so he's not the lawyer. So I don't think it's his fault I don't think it's his fault at all. I think it's just I think it's just their copyright system. They saw something that was theirs in a video, and they were like, yo, I think that's all
their
it is.
things still get claimed, or not claimed, manually notified. The manual notifications come through, or it pops up for them. Mm-hmm. So even if they manually claim a video, it could still let them know that something happened in that video. Yeah,
I'm still going to email them. I'm going to say something like, I recently got blah, 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 blah. I appreciate that it wasn't striked. I believe the clip is still under fair use law, which, you can see here with a link.
Yeah. Most times they just let it go once they see you didn't upload, Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view. Yeah.
I'm not looking to get it even unblocked. I just want to get clarification from the legal team. I think I asked before, and I believe they didn't answer me ever. I think they never answer me because they don't want to get into that. But I've had them say before, sorry. I've had them be like, hey, we sorry about that. We took care of it for you. We looked at it, and you're all set now. It should be back up and stuff. So they've always been awesome. The WWE legal team has always been
they were
great.
Good about it. They apologized when they brought down the charity stream that I did.
Joe Villain. Oh, yeah, they took down your charity stream even, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Yeah, so the WWE legal team has always been really good. I know that Joe Villain don't like me, but he doesn't really... It's not... I don't think it's his fault at all. He's the publicist, but, he's like the guy who's in charge of press and publicism and all that stuff, whatever. So, yeah, I don't think it's... I just think it's the system and the algorithm and the manual person clicked it, and when it gets up to the lawyer will actually look at it and be like, oh, yeah, we don't care about this, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, but until that point, it's all just computers checking things,
Yeah.
Ones and zeros looking through boxes. Last few awards, we got hardest moment to clean up after goes to the parking lot brawl between Santana and Ortiz and Best Friends. That was also rated 5 stars by Meltzer. Biggest WTF moment comes from Kenny winning the AEW World title and walking out with Don Callis. The LOL award goes to MJF getting thrown into the pool on the Jericho Cruise by the Young Bucks. The best person to follow on Twitter. Nominees are MJF, Orange Cassidy, Dr. Britt Baker, and Nyla Rose. And of course, Nyla Rose wins. That's the best person to follow. So obviously this is a subjective one because each person on the platform follows people differently, but I figured MJF should have won this. I mean, he's in the news again for roasting some child on Twitter. I mean, the guy's great.
Right. Yeah.
Where is it here? Let me find the news story really quick while I'm looking through. MJF says a fan's son looks like a drug addict. That's the news title. He said, your son looks like a drug addict, but is straight edge, just like Darby. The women tweeted out a picture of him saying, my son is not thrilled with your figure because he wanted Darby Allin.
Oh, this is gold. Let me pull
it up.
So
he said, makes sense. Your son looks like a drug addict, but is straight edge, just like Darby.
That was so funny, dude.
He's great. So how is that not the best Twitter follow? They just have to do it because,
you know what? That's
she's transgender, so she's brave.
That's actually against TOS, too.
I know. Go figure.
He did, that tweet, I'm banned from Twitter, technically. That's what he said is against TOS.
Because he's attacking a child, and people say, it's in the guise of a character and all that, but realistically, he's breaking
so wasn't mine.
Services.
Yeah, so wasn't mine. Mine was just a joke, and Joe Cronin's a character. So, my character, so it doesn't matter. It's just funny, man, because if I had done that, I mean, if anybody didn't like you'd be taken out for that. Now, it's just funny. I don't know. It's fun. I love it. I love it. Bring it on. Give us more. Do it more.
And then Nyla Rose, of course, was the chosen for the best Twitter follow. And then moment of the year, Bleacher Report pay-per-view moment of the year. Obviously, Stadium Stampede was chosen. So
that's cool.
I wasn't surprised to see that be the chosen.
Wouldn't you go? I mean, that and the backstage, the hardcore street fight also.
Yeah,
wasn't the hardcore street fight?
Yeah, that one cleanup of the year, or whatever, hardest moment to clean up. But if I probably would have picked when Kenny Omega and Hangman beat the Young Bucks. Kenny kicking out at 1 and all this, the rivalry that they had in that match, that was really good. Plus, it still had fans. That was a big standout. I wasn't crazy about the Stampede match. I enjoyed it, but wasn't my favorite.
Right.
There were some things in it that were really
outrageously
stupid.
So, I like both of them. They were both entertaining, but the Stampede, the stadium match, it was a long thing, and it had a good amount of like awesome moments, but it had a lot of fluff too and stuff like that. Whereas the backstage thing, I believe it was like 14 minutes or something. And it was fire from the beginning to the end. It didn't have some of the
start to finish. It didn't let up. There was just moment after moment after moment. So I agree with that.
That was a better all around thing. I mean,
that's why it got 5 stars from Meltzer for a reason.
Yeah, that's retarded though that he gave that 5 stars in my opinion.
It is, but it isn't. I think it definitely earned it.
I mean, it's shocking to see him give that, but it was
shocking with how he ignored and downplayed so many other matches that happened that were really good this year. I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but people had made a list and it was like, those didn't qualify, but that does.
It was weird, man. I don't know, like 4. I would have said 4.5 at least, but I mean, it was. I mean, the only thing you could have done to make it any better was light a car on fire completely. Like, but take out some of the fuel in the engine, make it, gimmick the car so it's hollow. But then light the car on fire, and as the car's on fire, you fucking pile drive the guy like through the windshield or on the hood or something while the car's on fire and cover him on it. Like, there wouldn't have been too much more you could have done to take it.
There really wasn't much more because they went through cars, windshields, boards.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. No, Sammy getting hit with the golf cart didn't win anything, even though it was nominated.
See, that's the thing is, like, that might have been, out of all the stuff that happened in that backstage fight and in the stadium thing, that's the best moment of anything. So that's why that match gets like a 7 or whatever, because those things that happened in it were so funny and crazy. But as a beginning to end street fight brawl, that match at the end of AEW Dynamite was perfect. So perfect.
Yeah.
So I can't believe it, man. We saw one of the best brawls
we couldn't rave about it enough. I just rewatched it not that long ago, and it's fantastic.
Great stuff, man. Listen, it was good.
Drew's right. Meltzer marks out for specific things, and it's not a fair scale.
Yeah, he marks out.
He's always been harsh on WWE.
He marks out when
pro New Japan.
I'll tell you when he marks out, Jake. It's when Tony Khan sends him $50,000 and says, "This one's a 5, Dave."
Yeah, there's been quite a few times where he's been accused of being paid off, and sometimes it lines up and makes sense because you hear people being really critical of AEW and being, like tonight, there's things I didn't care for, but I also praise the things I like. I like the show. I gave it a 7 overall. I'm critical about the things I don't really care for because I want them to do better. I actually really enjoy this product, and AEW is kind of the one I'm holding out hope for to see them kind of grow and take over and be that top dog eventually, because WWE, I don't know if they can ever change to go back to where they were. It doesn't seem like that's a possibility anymore. I feel like they're too far gone.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I agree. It's a mess.
And that's why I really hope AEW can continue to improve.
I made a video the other day called Cena at Mania, Raw ratings, fans at Mania, and other things. If you guys didn't see that, go give it a watch. It's 11 minutes long. Uploaded it the other day. It only got 1,700 views.
Yeah, you talked about a lot of things. You even brought up WrestleVotes, and him saying that there might be this darkest timeline conclusion for the Rumble that may be a very bad finish, and there's quite a few things that we're obviously going to talk about the Rumble tomorrow. We've got predictions to do. We've got, a ton of news and facts and all sorts of stuff I've got for you guys for the Rumble for breakdown. I've got some minor spoilers. I've got some bigger ones. We'll decide if we want to talk about that stuff, but we won't let any cats out of the bag until, everybody's good and ready. But point being, there's a lot to cover tomorrow night. One of the things I would think would be fun is at this point, with how piss poor the ideas have been with everything that they've planned with Mania, I would, off the top of my head, I would say let's have John Cena win the Rumble. And the story they can go with is that Drew McIntyre didn't get to have his match in front of an audience at all last year. So his main thing is he wants to be the WWE champion finally in front of fans, because he's done it in the Thunderdome, but he hasn't been the champion in front of fans yet, not once. So the story to go on is
Lesnar.
That Cena wants the record-winning 17th win. So Cena desperately wants that, title reign so he can retire and say, I broke Flair's record and so on and so forth. So he wants to beat Drew for the title reign and take away that history. But Drew wants to finally, defend his belt against a worthy opponent at WrestleMania in front of fans. So we have like the double face thing. I don't know. We could talk about it.
I'd like to see Drew and Cena. I don't think their chemistry is something I particularly like. It's a lot of brawling, big guy maybe stuff and whatever. And I don't like Cena's matches almost ever, really, so that sucks. But
I think him and Drew, they could make it work.
Yeah, it might be fun.
I think it would be on the lines of what him and AJ brought, a little bit less, but I can see them setting up something like that. So
yeah, I could go for that. I mean, really, I could go for that. I mean, because
I just don't see where. Yeah, Cena doesn't need to win the Rumble to challenge, but I feel like the men's Rumble is kind of a waste this year. I don't see them. I really feel like it's going to be like a Lesnar win or something.
Yeah, it feels like Lesnar's going to come in. He's going to win, and he's coming for Drew because he eliminated him last year and then beat him, and now he's coming back for retribution. Or
one of the worst things that I heard that had been discussed is if they do get Lesnar, and this is from people that I really feel like are on the ball about things. It makes sense too. If Lesnar can come back, then they're going to have Drew lose the title to Goldberg because they want to have Lesnar versus Goldberg one more time at Mania. What? They feel like that'll get asses in seats, and that'll be why people are so upset.
No way. No way that happens. If that happens, I'll shit on someone's head, dude. I will.
And Goldberg's never had the WWE Championship. He's had other titles, but he had the Universal title twice since he came back. Never had the WWE Championship. It's a dangerous predicament that we're facing this Sunday. I'm telling you, I think a lot of fans are going to be very, very pissed off walking out of this, the Rumble Sunday. I just have a very bad sinking feeling that the men's Rumble is supposedly going on early.
That's bad. That's not
a bad sign.
That's a bad sign, yeah.
The women's Rumble is going to close, so some type of spectacle moment's coming from that. So I don't know if it'll be Ronda or if it'll be just a big win that they have planned. Maybe Becky does return. We've seen photos of her recently looking like she's in ring shape. Certainly got rid of the baby weight. So
some kind of hero moment is happening for the women if they're on last. So,
but it could change. I mean, everything always changes. That's why I'm saying I hate always reporting on this stuff. People are like, "Oh, you're wrong," But
we don't know.
Right now, they finally decided on the Rumble winners, and this is what they're going into. So
yeah, we don't know.
It's a scary state of affairs. We're gonna get more details out of nowhere, but I'm genuinely worried about the men's.
Yes, this is very freaky. Like what we're hearing is creepy.
Yeah, and that only corroborates more of what WrestleVote said with him saying that he kind of heard that darkest timeline thing.
Yeah.
And I don't always care for WrestleVotes, because he does tend to speak very vaguely.
Mm-hmm. He's like one out of 4 usually, maybe.
Yeah, as you would say.
And
but
sometimes
it's often very vague, and then you could say, well, if that didn't happen, the card's subject to change. Yeah, no shit. We can always do that. But I try and at least, if I know something specific, we share it, we report it, and things change. We always know that. That's why I always try and say at least, if we don't know for sure, take it with a grain of salt. This is where this is coming from.
I 100% believe that even if Ronda isn't back permanently, I have a strong belief that Becky and Ronda are going to have a showdown in the Rumble, like Austin Bret Hart type of thing. Like, oh shit, Becky's back, or oh, Ronda's back, and they're in the ring and they kind of clean house, and then Becky comes out without anybody else in the ring but Ronda, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because they only have Ronda's contract for so much longer, so that's becoming a necessity.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
And then you have Charlotte bringing up Ronda quite a bit recently, and she's like, WWE doesn't need Ronda Rousey. Can Ronda add to the division? Absolutely. Do we need her? No. Of course you don't need her. But it would help. But just the way that she's been being brought up over and over again, maybe I'm looking too far
then they'll
into
bail on it. If they think everybody knows, like they'll bail on it. They'll be like, oh, let's not do that. Fuck it.
Yeah. So maybe just keep quiet about it, and we'll get Ronda back.
I don't even, yeah. I just want it to be exciting and fun. That's all. And right now,
it was exciting when Ronda was there because she seemed like a legit contender.
She was wacky
and most
on
of
the
her
mic.
matches were fun. They were whacked out. They were exciting. You didn't know what was coming next. Her promos were pretty wild. And it was entertaining.
Well, also, she had WrestleMania a couple years ago was terrible, and she had the best match on the card.
Yeah, her debut match with Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie was my favorite from that entire friggin' pay-per-view.
So, yeah,
there was
obviously
nothing good from that WrestleMania.
Then the next year, the Becky one or whatever, that was horrible.
Yeah, 35. I wish it was just a singles match.
Dude, last year's WrestleMania, I think we said last year's WrestleMania with no fans was better than the previous WrestleMania.
No, better than the previous, I think, 3 Manias.
Yeah, and there was no fans. Like, I mean, that's retarded. Like, what the hell?
Because they had really good matches. That Kevin Owens match stands out with Rollins.
Yeah.
That was really well done. And, Owens wanted to go off the pirate ship.
Yeah.
So instead, he went off the stage. I would have loved to have seen him walk the plank. I hope they still do that for somebody this year. That's why they're still having the pirate theme, because they never got to use the stage last year.
Yeah.
And they built and have most of the stuff still set. So why not use it?
Yeah,
They never showed anyone the stage. It was being built, and then we got no pictures from it. Remember?
Yeah.
They locked down the stadium, so no one got to see it.
We're gonna have ourselves a good old pirate ship match.
I'm excited.
Let's go.
Remember our lovely roller coaster prediction years back. So let's see what they do with this.
Dude, Vince, if you're listening, if anybody's listening from WWE, I don't care if you steal the idea or whatever, I don't give a shit. Or if it's legally, you don't want to get in trouble, fucking email me and put me on the payroll, something. Somebody has to have a pirate ship match, and what would be awesome is if somebody gets power bombed on the deck of the ship, and the whole wood blows up, and they go through the ship onto the bottom, and then they start fighting down below where the barrels are and the alcohol, and like there's lamps, and somebody gets smashed in the head with a lamp and shit. You could do some crazy shit. The pirate ship like brawl or whatever you want to call it, and then it'd be so fucking great. Please do a pirate ship brawl build a ship if you have to. I don't give a fuck. If they already have the ship, build wood in the ship that didn't exist before that you can break, and then get the permission. You gotta have a pirate ship brawl. Come on, dude. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Just like you had to make a fucking t-shirt for that stupid fucking fan in the PC. That was great. You gotta make a pirate ship match. It's gotta happen. Okay? And I'm still mad at AEW for not having Jon Moxley show up to the Jericho Cruise on a high-speed boat and crashing the party. That would have been fucking awesome. Man, Tony Khan and Jericho.
I wish we got that so bad.
Oh my God, dude. Jericho with the big telescope. Like, dude, some boat is on our tail. And then Jericho's like, what? It's Moxley. Like, and then they zoom in and it's his face on the boat. And you know that wavy shot when someone's looking through a telescope and there's Moxley standing straight up with a wheel below and he's steering it and he looks crazy and fucking pulling up on the boat and then throwing a thing and then climbing up the boat. Don't let him on here. Don't let him on the ship. And then Moxley's fucking hitting people until he gets through everybody and gets to Jericho where he tackles him into the fucking pool or whatever the fuck, or through the bar on the Jericho Cruise. Fucking would have been fucking awesome. They're playing the fucking Miami Vice theme rip-off type of song. Oh my God, dude. I would have never, ever. AEW could have had a 2 out of 10 show the next week. I would have given it a 9 anyway. I would have given them a positive rating till the end of time just for that shit.
Yeah, just to see that, I would have marked out too. And Woo Back Baby said, I heard a rumor where Keith Lee
eliminates Rumble and taking the title I never won. Also, if women's is on last, I see a weird ending with Alexa winning.
Oh, yeah, that could happen.
Alexa was even rumored to win the men's Rumble briefly at one point in time. That was one of the other things that creative had considered, that she would come out, be second to last, and she would eliminate Randy Orton to win the men's Rumble, and then the Fiend would take her place.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, I did it for you, Daddy, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, whatever.
And Woo Back Baby said, I heard a rumor where Keith Lee eliminates Brock. Yeah, they would have Brock and Keith repeat what they did last year at the Rumble.
I thought you called him Keith Ree. I was like, oh, you fucked up.
Keith Ree.
You're fucked up, bro. Oh, okay, all right.
And, they have a triple threat at Mania with Drew, I guess. I've heard that as well quite a few times. That's been discussed, and I'm sure that's something that was actually discussed within creative, because they want to do something with Keith. But Keith Lee on the main roster is Keith Ree, so
the only way you could get me hired is if you tagged AEW and WWE, and hundreds of you were tweeting at WWE Creative and at all the WWE officials, and you were hired Joe Cronin, and you were like, maybe if you like thousands of people were hitting them up every day, like all day, like maybe I'd get looked at. But other than that, I stepped foot in NXT and they said, we like you, and then they said, you know what? We're going to go with this big guy, Vic Joseph. I'm going to go with the big Vic Joseph over you.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, and although I didn't really step foot in there, I just was tried out in a different way. But whatever. They didn't say anything, man. They fucking gave my shit to Michael Cole. Nope. What? You got to be kidding me. They probably looked up all this shit on YouTube and they're like, well, fuck this. But you know what? If you got Lars Sullivan working for you, I don't know, man. That's more damage control than anything I've said.
If Mitch is there, then I don't know.
Right.
At least you're only joking, you know. Even if you said bad
at least
stuff,
I'm a character.
It was in the guise of entertainment.
Well, at least I'm a character on YouTube. You know, Lars Sullivan was actually blogging like under his name, like as like, yo, fucking, I'm racist. But no, I mean, come on, you know, whatever. It's whatever. What are you gonna do about it? You know, I'll just sit here till the end of time, wasting my talent on the commentary and on the microphone, talking to Jake and you guys, and we'll do this till the end of time, man. Fuck it, bring it on. Anything else, Jake?
Baby.
We really have run late here, along.
No, like I said, we got a lot for tomorrow night for Out of Nowhere. We got the stuff about Nia Jax getting heat in the back. We're going to talk about how hard it is to get through to Vince, and then we're also going to talk about the Royal Rumble. We'll also give you some predictions for next week's show for the beach break, and then we'll see how much time we have to get into everything else. But main focus is going to be the Royal Rumble, so it's going to be exciting.
Tomorrow's going to be big, man. A lot of things to talk about on Out of Nowhere. We'll be live at 11 p.m. here, Eastern Time. We hope you stop by.
And then hopefully during the day, you and I can meet up. We'll see what happens and get some more podcasting done for the Jake and Joe podcast, only available on Patreon. That's right. Get yourselves over to Patreon for 30 hours a month of bonus extra content. So many shows, just so much extra stuff. You'll never be bored again. Totally worth it. Plus, it keeps the channel going.
Unless Botch Club kills me in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and cuts my organs up. Shit bomb!
Lures you out there.
You become a shit bomb.
Asuka v Kairi Sane on a pirate ship for title lol.
I would do it. Spirit Infinity Roy. I don't care who it is. Someone's going to do it. That'd be awesome. And then she gives her the insane elbow off the mast. She jumps off the mast through the hole that was there where she'd already slammed the girl down. Asuka's, oh, that'd be sick. Well,
that'd be great.
Too bad she doesn't work for the company anymore.
Yeah. Well, I believe she's still hired, but she's not under an active roster. So
I thought she was
could
done.
work something out.
Yeah, they could get her in there to do it. Probably.
I think she's still a representative for them over in, overseas. So
she's done, man. She's scared of America. She's out of here. She's like, I've seen enough. Okay, I'm
can't say I blame her at this point.
Yeah, right.
Yep,
yeah,
that's it for tonight. As far as AEW goes, I wanted to like the show a bit more, but it was still better than last week. The MJF and Jericho match was enjoyable with the Hollywood Blondes, but really, the Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston match was good. It's unfortunate that a lot of people didn't get to see it.
Yeah,
and then obviously, the real thing to write home about was Dax Harwood of FTR taking on Jungle Boy. So definitely go and check that out, and I will give the night a 7.
Right.
I don't know what you give tonight. 7 sounds fair, I think.
Yeah, I'd give tonight a 7.
It seems like it works quite well. Yeah, Off the Rails episode 20 is up there on Patreon as well, so you can listen to Drew and Jesse. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun. Make sure you check it out. And I apologize, I haven't kept up with the chat as well as I usually do, but for some reason it keeps freezing on me tonight.
Yeah,
so
I was just trying to look for something somebody sent me earlier, but I couldn't figure it out. So, oh well, it is what it is. But thank you, man. Dwayne the Cock Johnson, everybody else, appreciate you guys tonight, man. We've enjoyed it. We have a lot coming up tomorrow night on Out of Nowhere. Shout out to the guy who dropped $500 the other night too. That was nuts. It's too bad the donation's missing now. But I think
was crazy. I
think I do have access to the video, so I think I'm going to edit some of the stuff and put it back up under like some kind of an edit so you guys can still see, last night's review. Just I'll edit out what WWE didn't like, and then I'll speak to the lawyers and try to figure out what the issue is or whatever. If they say it was a mistake, then all good. Then everything's good. But if they're like, nah, we're looking at all the whatever, I don't know. They'll usually tell me. So we'll figure it out. And if it's good, then it will go back up. If it's not, if they disputed it all, then I'll just re-upload without the content they didn't like, and I'll just I just won't make a thing out of it. I'll just whatever. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, just take that one spot out, and now we know for future reference. Eddie Gomes says he wants Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie, Jay White, and Marty Scurll for the Rumble. And imagine if Roman enters, said Spirit Infinity Roy. Yeah, that would be something, Roman wins the Rumble as the champion already just because he wants to pick his own opponent.
Yeah.
I don't know about those 4 surprises, but I don't think we'll see Marty Scurll, that's for sure.
No, man, he's busy sniffing a a changing room somewhere. No, I don't know. Who knows? We need more details on the Skrull thing. I think Skrull's better off, though, than Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan stuff is so public.
Yeah.
And so many things and so many public things. Like, Marty Skrull's accusations are bad enough that he's gone from ROH. But
he just admitted to it, though. Marty said he thought it was consensual, so that's what really put him up a creek.
Well, but then he's got at least he's...
He's got something to fight on. He's got grounds to fight it on. Yeah, no doubt. But it's unfortunate that, he basically, in a lot of people's eyes, he admitted to it. So
taking out those hedge funds.
Yeah, one step at a time.
All right, we're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Hit us up on Twitter at JCS Commentary on Twitter. At Countdown Ended on Twitter. We love you all. Kisses. Look for Patreon, guys. I'm going to have some stuff on Patreon tomorrow. So look for that, another podcast. Cronin Speaks. I did one the other day. Did you miss it? It's up on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Plus the new producers list goes up tomorrow as a thank you to the producers. I'm going to do a producers podcast tomorrow. Live for everybody in honor of the producers of this month. Thank you, everybody. $25 and above on Patreon. The producers this month, thank you. Anybody wants to become a producer for next month, do it up. We'll get the stuff produced. And I'll hit you guys up on Patreon if we have to talk. And thanks to the Patreon family, man. It's a big family and a big party over on Patreon where we get a little too wild. We can't do that on YouTube, I'll tell you that. We're out of here.
I play games where you get fucked to death.
It's time to play with your grundle. It's time to play with your grundle.
Yeah, I didn't like his outfit, and I wasn't a big fan of his promo either, the Mr. Gentleman promo.
Right.
Allow me to introduce myself. Are you gonna fuck the guy?
Queefy sons of bitches.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
You shoot me?
Joe, I swear to God, if you don't stop, I will shoot you, Joe Cronin. Do your fucking job. Do your fucking job.
Send my greasy ass into outer space.